Okay, it's time to start with the fun stuff. I'm going to be staining today, and I'll let you watch that. I'll just start out with the back and just try some little spots, just make sure I'm 100% happy with the stain. If that happens, then I'll go ahead and start wrapping my way around. So I'll probably fast forward so you don't have to bear the whole thing. But anyway, exciting time today. It's nice and sunny, a little breeze, so just putting it on with a little rag is really going to work well today. And then I like to keep a second rag to go ahead and take off a little bit if I get too much on there. All right, here we go. Got a little Van Halen going in the background. I'm just going with golden mahogany here. It's got a little bit of red in it, which is nice. Hopefully not too dark.
Oh, that's going to be beautiful, beautiful. Yeah. That's going to be a perfect color for this.
Now, you guys have probably done this before, but what my shop teacher always used to tell me is that you go ahead and kind of rub it in and then go back and really kind of strain it out with that rag. So you make it nice and even so there's no little marks in there. Yeah, that's going to be beautiful. I could always take this other one and kind of go along there too and take off a little of the excess.
I'll turn this so you can see how it looks. It's warm out here. These gloves are about 100 degrees under my hands. They're burning up. But it's nice to have a good light. We're just coming out of a long winter. This is one of the very first warm days. It's supposed to be raining cats and dogs, but it's actually really nice today. A little bit of a breeze, so shooting outside with paint gun is an option. Alright, so we're going to try and rub that in a little bit. Strain it out so it's all the same color.
Yeah, that's looking real good. Oh, there's some turkeys in the background. See if a turkey runs through the shot. Gobble, 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 gobble. I don't know if you can hear that in the background. Behind us is a giant farm, and it goes through those trees. I'll kind of move over so you can see it. You can see the trees that are back behind us. There's a giant farm back there. Quite well-known family owns the farm, but it's fun. We get a lot of wildlife through, turkeys and deer and I guess that's mainly it. Lots of different birds. The family is kind of a well-known political family. I won't say their names, but on the Republican side. So they often have, or used to in the day, have Republican presidents and Republican hopefuls come here and have fundraisers and such. And so I guess they used to have Secret Service right outside our property out here, making sure we didn't go in there whenever there was some dignitary in town. But that was really before we moved here. It's, I think, a lot less active now. Oh gosh, that's just so beautiful.
I'm not exactly sure the order in which I should do this. My time in the Navy would say start at the top and move down. That's what they always taught us with cleaning. So I'm going to start up here. Now that I'm happy with the color, I'll get the video out so you can see what it looks like. Sounds like there's a little blend fry playing now.
gotten smart. He started using gloves. Used to not use gloves, and then for a week looked like I had two-tone fingers going.
I think I'm happy with that. Hopefully it's not too dark. That's too dark? Does it? That's too dark? Do you want to stay now? Making a beef sandwich? Yeah, I probably will do that, but I can do that.
Oh, Jet! Jet! He has a bird.
A what?
Drop it.
Our cat has a bird over there if you see my wife going over. Usually if we catch it in time, the bird's okay, just kind of really surprised. Probably very unhappy.
Is it still alive? I'm recording now. I'm gonna fast forward and... So you got the bird, huh? You want me to get a bag? Can we get a bag to put him in? Heavy right here. See if we can get some out. Can make it, huh? Yeah. I know, that's the thing, is I just can't find what to do. I know. Was it still alive when you were chasing it around, you know? Yeah.
All right, thought I'd see how it looked in the sun here. Rolled it out here for just a moment. It's very honey kind of glow. A little bit better than I maybe thought at first. What do you think? It's kind of a pretty color. There's a few spots on this side I see I need to retouch up. Right in here and over here. but overall it's looking very good. I went ahead and I hand rubbed it afterwards with a soft cloth, and I think that helped bring out this glow a little bit. So I am liking the color more and more, and especially in the sun, it looks real nice. But we'll get a coat of polyurethane on it, and we're gonna be cooking with fire. All right, well, this is one coating of poly. Look at that. It's really looking nice. It's bringing this color out real nice in this wood. I ended up thinking I'm happy with this color choice. I was really kind of sweating it that it was gonna be too dark, but I don't think it is. So I will be sanding this with 220 now and getting this back ready for a second coat of the poly. Good morning. I'm about to start one of the saddest parts of the refinishing process. You got it all looking so good after your first coat of this polyurethane, and you're like, oh man, this is going to be great. And now you have to do a quick sand coat. You have to sand this guy down just a little bit so the next coat will really bond nicely. There's no little things, imperfections sticking up. So here goes. So this is 220, and you're going to just give it a quick light sanding, just scuffing up that first little layer. And you don't want to get into it very far, or you'll get that stain, and you're going to have to do a lot of sanding and restaining if you do that. So just a nice little scuff coat on this, and be sure to use a block. It just keeps it nice and steady and even. Here goes.
I suppose it really just gives you an idea of what it's going to really look like when it's really done. That's good, but it was kind of sad to see. Okay.
A couple of you have asked me to put in a little bit on some of my secrets for making good finish here. This could be poly like I'm doing here, or it could just be regular varnish. I've got some beeswax varnish, same sort of thing. You want to just really keep nice, even, thin coats going on, and obviously no bubbles. And so the way I do that is make sure that I stir, never shake and stir just real gently your mixture, whatever it is. And then, whoops, I'm not showing it here. And then as I put it on, I'm gonna keep the brush tilted towards my work and try and just use the brush to get out as many bubbles as I can. And then what I'll do is I'll leave a couple bubbles in here, and I'll show you my secret recipe for getting rid of them. Not many people get to hear this. You were here and heard it first. Now maybe everybody does this, I don't know, but it's something I learned a while ago, and it works really well. So maybe I'll do it right now. I'll try to put some bubbles in, and then let's see what we can do about getting rid of it. Okay, so I'll get a little more on this, and it's just about time to do it. Okay, so there's some bubbles. Not sure if you can see those, but I'll get it in the light so you can see it a little bit better. Okay. So that's good. Now I usually just do a small section like that. Let's see if we can see those bubbles in there. All right, so what I do is I take a hot air gun and just go over the work afterwards. Those bubbles will just come right out of there. See, that's turned into a drip, so I'll have to get that, but it just pulls those bubbles right out. And you won't have any after doing this. Yeah, those are little drips. Let me get rid of the drips. Not gonna do anything against those. Okay. So anyway, I don't know if that's shown on the video, but it just pulls the bubbles right out of there. So try that. I'm sure a hairdryer would work just fine, but I just use like a shrink wrap hot air gun, and that works fine. All right, it's been quite a while since I posted last. Mainly because I've been working on this finish, and it just takes a long time to do right. I still have a few things that I want to do, but I wanted you to see where it is. Basically, it's just looking real good. Out here in the sun especially, it really comes out. You can see some of the great spalding in the wood, and especially on the top portion here. They really did a nice job of putting some good wood and matched up and everything. So I am pretty close on this. There's a couple spots right in here that I want to make some filler up, and I'll fill those up and then kind of get it all looking good, but not much at all that I need to do there. I just ran across those a few minutes ago. So what I did was there's 10 layers of polyurethane on it, and I would put a layer on with a real good brush, nice easy strokes, and I put a layer on, and then I would sand it with I think about 265 grit sandpaper. Not real hard, didn't want to take a lot off, just give it a good scouring so that the next layer would stick on real nicely. And I did that for 10 coats. And once I was at my 10th, then I went ahead and started sanding with higher and higher grit. So I went to 400, sanded the whole thing, then 600, and then I think I switched to 800, 1,000, and then 2,000. And once I was at 2,000 then, and I should say above 600, I did wet sanding. So you a lot of water on this. By that point, the wood is good and sealed, and so you don't need to worry about getting it too wet or anything. So I sanded that, wet sanded it up to 2,000, and then I went back after I was done with that, and I used buffing compound. And that takes a lot of those, any scratches that are left out. And I'm not sure what grit that compares to, but it does a real nice job of bringing this out. And then I put 2 layers of wax on, and at that point, I am pretty close. I think it's gonna look really fantastic. So thanks for everybody's support, comments, whatever below. I'd love to hear what you think.